Hi, everybody. Welcome to our recorded Zoom. I'm Miss Karen Ratowski. I teach 3R.
And I'm Mrs. Tony Mitchell and I teach 3M, and welcome to Year 3.
So today we're going to give you a brief overview of the term and some important information for third grade and our school. It's nice to touch base with you even in this way. It's better than nothing, and we very much look forward to meeting you face to face in term 2, which will explain how that may happen later. Okay, so the term so far, you may or may not be aware that we have a new religious education curriculum that is in the trial stages, and schools are implementing that. The children have been really enthusiastic about our learning, and it comes from a more inquiry approach. So getting them to think deeply, to ask questions, and relate it all back to our scriptures. So we've done a lot of work on sacraments and how those sacraments bring us the gift of grace from God this term, but more importantly, how we transfer that gift of grace into our everyday lives. Okay, so literacy. We've got lots going on in literacy always. It's such a huge key learning area. In Year 3, we have been focusing very much on how our reading skills build our writing skills, and how our strengths in reading can build our writing. So we've had a lot of opportunity to work around that, and the children have made great comparisons. And we're also looking at preparing children, of course, for Naplan, as you know. So exposing them to the types of texts they might come across in Naplan, and having a look at the type of language and spelling and things like that.
With mathematics, we've been extending on their knowledge that they learned over the last 3 years. They have been looking at the 3 strands this term. So we have number, we have measurement and geometry, and statistics and probability. In addition to that, we're starting to look at times tables. We don't teach them all the times tables all at once. Of course, they will do that over the next 2 years, but it's really important that they're familiar with the times tables. So for HSIE, we have been learning about First Nations people of Australia, so the Aboriginal Australians and Torres Strait Islanders. We've been looking at what they were like before we had British colonisation. Students have become experts in different areas and have been teaching each other about their speciality. Students have been very interested, and especially with how long the Aboriginal people have been on this continent. With our science, we have been looking at living things, and included in that, we've been looking at the life cycles and how we can categorise things. We've also been able to observe a caterpillar in the classroom that is metamorphosized into a butterfly only today, which students might be telling you about.
Okay, dance. We've had, for creative arts this year, we predominantly taught a dance unit, but we were able to integrate some drama early on in the unit. And we linked this very strongly with our HSIE unit on Indigenous traditions. So the kids have really done quite well and been very enthusiastic. And we've looked at breaking down movement as well as depicting an Australian animal, just as the Aboriginal culture does in their dancing, and then composition, where they compose their own 4-piece and now 8-piece dance sequence. So they're very enthusiastic. We're coming into performing this next week, so we'll have a good chance to see how they go, and they're thoroughly enjoying it.
So these are our learning spaces where the children can come, they can feel safe, they're in an environment where they can learn to their best. Each student has their own learning space, although they are encouraged to spread out around the classroom to study as they feel fit.
Okay, so behaviour expectations at St Francis are the same as the previous years: respect self, respect others, respect environment. As part of our PBS for L program, we unpack those very carefully, as we've done at the start of the year, and we use a lot of positive reflective behaviour, along with rewarding fast and frequently with our Gubios, and also with our respect awards on a fortnightly basis.
So in regards to homework, the reading each night is mandatory. So we request that each student reads for about 15 minutes. They have a reading log that they can record what they've read for how long. And as their parent or carer, it's asked that you initial on that. They have access to Epic, which is free reading resource. They have the e-library, which they've learnt this week how to log on. They have Study Ladder, which we add to each week, as well as Google Classroom, but only the homework folder. So from these, they should be able to do quite a lot of homework at home.
Okay, there is an option for children that are having trouble accessing online Study Ladder work. We do provide a printed copy of homework for those selected children. So they just need to let us know. That's the copy of the letter is there that went home previously. If you have any questions regarding that, if there's any reason the children can't do the homework, please pop a note in the diary and we'll get back to you.
And all their logins, just in case they aren't sure, are inside their diary.
That's right. Okay, Naplan. So Naplan will occur this year. Last year, due to COVID, it was cancelled, basically, not postponed. So this year it will occur, and we have been preparing the students for that. The official Naplan test is in term 2 during week 4. There is lots of preparation in class. It does provide us as educators excellent learning data on each child, but we will stress that it is just one test done on one day. It is a snapshot into each child and each learner, and that data needs to be looked at with the child as a whole and how we see them working in the classroom as well. So we say that so that there's not a great deal of stress placed on it. We want the children to be relaxed and not overly anxious, and we assure them that they just need to do their best, read carefully, and that's all that's required.
Okay, so the good news is we will be opening the school so that you will be able to come in and meet us in term 2. It will be early in term 2. During those discussions, it'll give you a feel for how your child's going, so that when the half-yearly reports come out at the end of term 2, that you know how they've been going, that there's no shocks.
Okay, so keeping up to date with what's happening at the school, as everything is this day, everything's gone electronic. So there's 2 ways that you can look into that. The School Bag app is the most essential way. It has all our newsletters, all our notices, daily notifications that get emailed to you. Facebook is there to celebrate our learning at St Francis and celebrate the things that we achieve with our students at school. So Facebook's a lot of fun. You'll get to see photos and updates from each grade throughout the term. School Bag is our information portal. So really, in terms of joining School Bag app, it's essential that you have it. This note was sent home earlier in the term, but I have put a snapshot on there as Mrs. Mitchell, and I thought it would be good just to recap that in case you need the instructions on how to follow that. So that's probably it from us, trying to keep it short and sweet. If you know Mrs. Mitchell and I, that can be a challenge at times. But more importantly, in terms of communication with both Mrs. Mitchell and I, it's important that you know we are contactable by phone, we are contactable via the diary, and we will do our best to get back to you immediately. Mrs. Jolliker works very close with us in our diversity team and supporting all the children's learning, so she is also available. And Mrs. Cavansini teaches 3ARF on every Wednesday, and that is due to my duties on the leadership team, and I work in leading literacy in the school. So hopefully that gives you a nice snapshot on what a great term we've had and what an amazing start to the year it's been, especially for myself, getting to know your children. I haven't taught this grade before, as you know, and it's been a real pleasure getting to know them. So thank you from afar. We appreciate everything you do to support us in our role. And if there's anything we can do to support you, don't hesitate to contact us.
So we look forward to seeing you all in term 2.
Okay, thanks. Bye.